What would happen if you injected alcohol into one of your veins? Let's have a look. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com, and today's question is, what would happen if you injected heroin into one of your veins? Now, I'm talking about this one because I came across a disturbing video the other day on YouTube where, I don't know if you remember a program called Jackass years ago, and there was a guy in it, one of the guys was called Steve-O, and this video was of Steve-O injecting heroin into his veins, right? Injecting alcohol into his veins and injecting vodka. In fact, what he was doing was he had a vodka drip, right, which is the same thing. So they basically poured vodka into the top of the drip. They stuck the drip needle into his arm and they let it go. Let me say first of all that this is highly dangerous, right? And I'll explain why in a minute. You know, it's just something that is completely stupid. You know, you need to be a jackass to do something like this to yourself, especially to put it up onto YouTube, right? You know, in essence, what he was doing was he was dressed in a hospital gown, and he had this trolley with the drip on it, you know, that kind of tall stand thing with the wheels, and he was wheeling this around town, and he went into a pub, and you know, that's the story. It's a stupid video, right? But it just got me thinking, and I didn't think that was possible. I thought he was taking the piss, so I started reading into it, and apparently this is what some people actually do. That there is I don't know why they would do this. I think a lot of people, if they are not getting a hit from the alcohol anymore, if they've gone right to that extreme, can start to do this to themselves in order to get the alcohol hit very quickly. And the reason why they do get the hit very quickly is because it completely bypasses the normal digestive system. It bypasses the liver, it bypasses the stomach acids, all that kind of thing that slows it down, you know. So it just goes straight into the bloodstream, and along with everything else that's in the alcohol, you know. I mean, if you tried this with beer, it will kill you stone dead straight away because of the carbonation in it, right? There's another one called butt chugging, which is, I came across, and it does the same job of bypassing the liver and goes straight into the bloodstream because there's no chemicals that turn the alcohol that made the alcohol go through the breakdown process, right? There's no alcohol dehydrogenase that, you know, starts the whole process off. So butt chugging is where a person gets a tampon, sticks it into vodka until it's soaked, and then puts it up his butt or her butt, whatever, and that apparently bypasses the whole liver system, right? The whole defensive system. And the reason why this one is so dangerous is because, you know, as well as the injection, there is no. It not only bypasses the filtration system, it bypasses the defenses, right? So it stops your body from vomiting. That's one of the first things that your body will do when it knows that you've got alcohol poisoning. You know, you've had too much. There's too much of this stuff has come in and it can't handle it. It will immediately vomit the rest of it out. You know, obviously, when you put it straight into your vein or stick it up your arse, you don't need to say more. You know, what kind of person does that? You know, now I've done some stupid stuff in my time, right? I've snorted alcohol while I was at a party years ago, and I vaguely remember doing it once off a teaspoon, pure vodka up my nose, and it was a stag do with some very drunk people, And I remember the burning sensation in my nose, and it was one of those things where you do it because, not because it's such a great idea or you want to get drunk, it's because the other lads are doing it and they're daring you to do it, and you know, utterly stupid. You know, so this goes back to the video I made about the difference between the two guys, right? One's taking heroin, the other one's taking alcohol. They're both out of their heads on it, and you wouldn't really be able to physically tell the difference between the two. And that's what I'm trying to point out here. Is that's another one of the similarities, is that you can overdose on alcohol as much as you can overdose on heroin, right? You can get into trouble by mixing alcohol in with other substances that you shouldn't be mixing them with. Well, you know, shouldn't be drinking alcohol in the first place, but you can get into trouble because of the method of taking alcohol. And you know, this is another reason why, you know, people die from taking heroin, is through the method. You know, they inject it into their veins. It goes past, it bypasses all the body's defensive systems, and it goes straight into the bloodstream, where it can do some awful damage, especially with a drug that has been contaminated. Now, there are different ways. There are people who inject alcohol into their bodies. There are people who mix alcohol with other substances, or just mix alcohol with other forms of alcohol and then take it in large doses, and can cause themselves massive problems. So, what do you think of this? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you've got any experience of this butt chugging, I'd love to know. You know, if you know anyone who's ever done it or injected themselves with alcohol, I'd love to know that as well. What's the story there, you know? Come on over to the website, sign up for the newsletter, and until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.